Yeah, and then like if you could just try, you guys gonna get me in trouble. You know, I got to be able to see who's got the mic. So if you could, yeah. But I would just say, so proud of the guys. I mean, and so proud of the team, just what we've been able to do with the non-conference here, with the quality of the opposition, and then just the adversity relative to just having such key players out, and just for me, I think why we are where we are, going into conference play now is it's probably singularly because of guys like the way a guy like Jalen Stewart plays for us tonight. I think he wins the game for us. We go with Braylon to start the game, and the guy's just such an incredible UConn guy. He's one of the most selfless, best human beings I've ever coached, and obviously an incredibly talented player. And I just thought that his performance here, 3 for 5, the 10 huge points. I thought his activity defensively, we win that game and where we're at as a program because of men like Jalen. So thrilled with the win, 10-1. I'll take it.
Yeah, 10-1 and 5-1 through the gauntlet of those 6, Power 4 opponents. How impressive is that? And how important is that, considering the fact that the quad 1 opportunities may not be as frequent in the Big East this year?
Yeah, I think we knew that, and we talked about that as a team. I mean, we I'll be glued to my TV tomorrow because there's some opportunities for the league. I think coming up in December, I know St. John's has got Kentucky, and I know there may be some other opportunities against some games that could move the needle. But yeah, I mean, we knew that we had to come through. We talked about it as a team. That we needed to come in with the best net that we could come in with. We had a chance to get 5 quad 1 games and 1 quad 2 game, and we went 4-1 and 1-0 in quad 2. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of pressure on us in the non-conference to come through, and we were able to do it. I know your voice. It's when I get into the crowd of people and and that's the great Cormac Gordon. That was his nephew. Yeah, the great Cormac Gordon from Staten Island. The great Cormac Gordon.
2 things on Alex. Just your thoughts on his shot that followed Solo Strong, called it the biggest play of the game. And Alex, in general, he spoke a lot in the preseason about the ups and downs of last season having put him in a better place mentally. He feels like mentally and physically he was entering this season in a better place to handle a season, so to speak. So your thoughts on his shot and just overall his impact this season?
Yeah, I think last year gave him perspective. I think, it's, I don't think he's approaching this season with any type of level of entitlement. You go back-to-back champs your first 2 years in college, and it's a joyride. And then you have we all have a tough 3rd year together. And I think losing that entitlement and just being grateful to have another opportunity, to have his last run at UConn, and he knows he's got a strong team around him, a stronger team this year, has given him a lot of confidence. And I think the fact that, the year went the way it went for him and for us last year, and there was it had no impact on his draft stock. I mean, he was still going to be drafted, late 1st, earliest 2nd, after, probably a year that, he wasn't anywhere near at his best. So, the NBA has made a decision that, he's a guy that's going to be picked, in the 20s or in the early 30s. He knows that. He's established that. And now he's just, I think, relaxed and attacking the year and just really enjoying his last season at UConn. I know, me and him are just trying to enjoy every practice and every game and every moment together because it's coming to an end.
And his shot, the rim was probably still shaking from the crowd noise that followed Solo's shot.
Yeah.
It's a quick second.
That was great. And it was like we had that stretch where we had it to 10, and we had those offensive rebound throwouts to the three-point line, and I think Solo missed 2 pretty clean threes that I think in almost back-to-back possessions where we could have got it to 16 and maybe gotten away from them a little bit. So, Solo owed us that bomb that he hit, and then just how clutch AK's been closing games. You just knew that was going down, and that was probably as loud as I've heard, this building. And we obviously got a real nice streak in here going. I think the crowd, really showed up for us tonight. The way a top 5 team in the country, when they play at home, it should be bedlam and mayhem.
Hey, Coach. Did Malachi hit a 10-inch growth spurt, or did Terrace Reed really have 5 assists tonight?
That was good. Terrace looked like Donovan up there for us. I mean, that's where we were. Part of when people start switching things is you have to have a center at the top of the key that's got size and it's got vision and dexterity with his hands that can make those, those kind of thread the needle passes so I think that both Taris and Eric, obviously Eric got limited by foul trouble. I thought Eric was playing really, really good today. So, it's just having a center that could play out there when people are switching so we could start slipping things, fading things, slipping flares, stepping to the that's going to make us more dangerous offensively.
Dan, Sean was just talking about learning how to win.
Yeah.
You guys just had a stretch of games where you've made all the winning plays when you had to. Just what impressed you about the way you guys have gone out and just taken a hold of these games the last 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah, just I think again we're still Bray being able to get a 25-minute game under his belt. I thought he was fatigued a little bit. In the second half, some late, but it was great to see him get a start, get a 25-minute, get his cardio up, and he'll be able to build from that. And I think, the kind of the same thing with Taris. Just, I think he got a little fatigued and he got a little sloppy with some of the guards picked up a couple of those turnovers, but Taris had a couple chances to catch finish at the rim. Taris probably should have had 18 today. I just think for us, while we're trying to get whole and trying to figure out our rotation and trying to get Taris and Braylon into the flow of things and trying to get our rotation set, what great teams do is find ways to win while they're still going through it.
Hey, Coach. Braylon made his first career start tonight. How did his early performance really show how he's ready to step into this bigger role?
Yeah, he got us going. He just, he could just do things when things break down. He can make hard shots. Those kind of off-script threes, and I don't think he quite understands exactly, kind of the movement stuff. With he missed so much time. I think he's just gonna become so much more dangerous, and he's doing pretty much all of it off script. He doesn't really even know how to get his stuff within the confines of the things we're running yet because he missed so much time. So as we get this guy more into the flow of understanding, the cuts and the reads and everything, he's going to have some really explosive nights. And I thought he got us going tonight.
Early in the game, you guys were shooting lights out. Did you feel like you guys should have been up earlier, up more? And what did you attribute that Texas did well to keep it close and you guys were shooting so well?
Well, we did some things to nullify. you shoot 68%. You shoot 54% for the game. They shoot 37%. Obviously, I looked at one point, it was 10 fouls, 10-2 in the second half, from a foul standpoint. So that, we got to figure that part of it out. I see Dan over there, so I'm going to probably stop that right there. But we've got some undisciplined fouling going on, and again, they're So I think just putting them being at the line as much as they were kept them in it, I thought. And you look at their team. I mean, Jordan Pope is a heck of an offensive player. I mean, Dalen Swain is going to be an NBA draft pick. You know, their center is a tremendous player. You know, we met Heidi in the Final Four. You know, Mark is a sixth-year player who's a big-time scorer. Sim Wilcher was I think a starter on a really, really, you know, top-flight St. John's team. I mean, this is a team with talent. So, you know, for us, the rebounding, 15 turnovers was a mess. We would have scored 80 plus if we didn't turn the ball over 15 times.
Dan, you talked earlier in the season about Jalen just needing to get more consistent. Did something click for him? I mean, because he does look like a different player right now, like he's more comfortable in whatever you're asking him to do.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen is, I mean, you'll never coach a better human being. I mean, you know, Robert. So, yeah, I mean, Jalen is just a total team guy. You know, I screwed up the last game with him, you know, not getting him back in the Florida game where he played well in that game. But, you know, this is a deep team. And, you know, but Jalen is you know, I think this guy's got a chance to be an NBA player. I think, you know, your career is a marathon. It's not a sprint. His best basketball is still ahead of him. He's still a baby. I mean, he's still young for his, you know, for being at this point in college, you know. So, and I can't tell you how big of a heart he has for UConn and how much he cares about his team and his teammates and, you know, how much that just does for the organization. I mean, and the guy's an awesome player.
What is it that you need out of him the rest of the way from a basketball perspective?
I think being more assertive on offense. I think, you know, you know, obviously, you know, he's a guy that, you know, can make threes, but I like when he like tries to drive it. I like when he goes in the mid post. I think we got to do a better job of running things for him when he's in there. I think we probably run too much stuff for Solo, Alex, Braylon, post ups, and I do think he's a really good offensive player. And you know, you know, he's a guy who's going to play starter minutes whether he starts games or not. Him and Malachi are, you know, like they're like sixth and seventh starters, really. You know, I mean, our bench is incredible. I mean, these guys would start for a lot of high majors. Eric, Malachi, Jalen, Jaden Ross. I mean, Jaden Ross got the short end of it today, but Jaden, you know, his minutes should be, you know, no less than 14. But again, this is a deep team, and you know, and different guys are going to step up on a nightly basis.
Coach, Silas is off to the great start of the season. Ever since that triple-double against Bryant, his numbers have been down to where not reaching the standard to where they are expected to be. Just what are your thoughts on his play lately and how he can get back on the right track moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, quarterbacks. You know, he's a quarterback. Going into the game, you know, Silas was shooting, I think, 50% from the field. What was that? 51.5. Yeah, I mean, when a guard is shooting 51.5% from the field, and he's got a triple-double, and he saved our ass versus BYU, and I think he's singularly, although he was in foul trouble today, he's taken our defense from the dog stuff that it was last year, and he has singularly changed our identity that way. So, you know, I just think that it's like he's got all these weapons around him, and it's not an easy transition. You know, when do I attack and get mine? When do I be offensive-minded? Read it. You got shooters and rollers and all these things going on around you. I just think it's going to take time the way it did take time with T-New. And but again, quarterbacks get judged by what your record is. And his record's 10-1. And if he wasn't here, we'd be in trouble.
You guys have been great down the stretch all year, but the offense today went a bit stagnant in the second half. How do you improve on that as you head to the Big East play now?
I just thought we got into stuff deeper in the clock. I thought, just it took us too long to get into some things. Credit Texas. I think they got a better feel for some of the things that we were doing, but we had 15 turnovers. And again, we shot 54% from the field. We were 7 for 13 from the free throw line, and we had 15 turnovers. And I think we're not on the offensive glass the way we need to get on the offensive glass, and we got to get more things in transition. It's hard if you're always just going to play against a set defense. It's hard to just execute people for 40 minutes. You got to get more easy things in transition.
Coach, to your left.
I don't want to end like that.
You did well. You did what you wanted to do this first portion of the season, but the second half is going to be another gauntlet. Teams are looking to make UConn the prize in terms of getting some good wins. What do you do to keep your team ready to win those important games in the Big East?
Yeah, I think that the team is I think coming off a year like we had last year and having a group that knows its potential. I don't think it's going to be a challenge. Getting these guys ready. I did think second half tonight. That quick turnaround from that. You have that war versus Florida that you get in at 5 a.m. With the bus ride. Back, right, Bobby, and then you have a game like this versus Texas tonight. I just thought second half we looked maybe a little bit leg weary, but we got Saturday, we got Sunday, we got Monday, and then we'll be ready for our Big East opener on Tuesday back in here, where we've been playing real well.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.